Hello and welcome back to another video. Thanks ever so much for watching. Sorry it's been so long. Well, that's probably a good thing for most of you, but anyway, here I am back again. We're going to be talking about obviously the Formula 1 as always, and I was going to do a review show where I talk about the all of the teams, sorry, but it takes me long enough to ramble about a couple of teams, so I'm just going to be talking about Red Bull, Mercedes and Ferrari today, the top three teams. And let's start with obviously the Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton battle that we've seen so far this year, and it started out so clean, didn't it? It was absolutely juicy, lovely, brilliant racing. They're in a field of their own. They're just absolutely flying, and yeah, we've seen pretty much every single race. We've seen some wheel-to-wheel action with Verstappen and Hamilton, with various people coming out on top. We've also seen some brilliant strategy with the teams and some terrible strategy with the teams that's caused one driver to have the advantage over the other. And then obviously towards the end of the mid half of the season, we've seen the controversy with obviously Mercedes basically deciding that Red Bull aren't going to win races if they don't finish them, and taking them out. So yeah, and they pretty much executed it well. Don't worry, I've not got my tin hat on, but we're going to get into that in a minute. But yeah, the Verstappen and Hamilton battle has been absolutely incredible so far, and I just hope it remains clean and, you know, with a little bit of juiciness for the rest of the season. And to be honest, all arrows are pointing in the right direction, I think. So yeah, fingers crossed it's going to be a good one between them two. And yeah, that brings me on then to Valtteri Bottas, and yes, he's not done that on purpose, but Toto Wolff had to have a little bit of a grin on his face when he saw Bottas punt into Norris and then take out both Red Bulls in one corner. And obviously that, along with Hamilton's crash that he was at fault at, I would say, I wouldn't say he wiped out Verstappen, but the crash that he was at fault at has swung the championship in Mercedes' favour massively. So they were miles behind. I can't exactly remember how far behind they were, but it was quite a few points, and Verstappen was like 28 points or something in the lead of the championship. And now Hamilton is leading the championship, and also Mercedes are leading the constructors as well. So yeah, the events over the last couple of weeks have been interesting. Now let's get into what the thumbnail was of the video. My beautiful new thumbnails. Hopefully they're appreciated. It's my first go, so yeah, bear with me on that. But yeah, has that saved Bottas? This is a little bit of a joke, to be honest, because I don't think it has. I think he needs to actually have a good performance at the end of the race rather than punting the Red Bulls off at the start of it. But it's definitely helped out Mercedes, and yeah, I don't know, to be honest, but I don't know, but I think it's a done deal, isn't it, that Russell's going to be in that car next year unless Bottas decides that he's actually going to be really fast again. I mean, his pace isn't bad. He just has no pace when it actually matters, and obviously that's crucial. You know, in the race he seems to be nowhere at the minute, and we're used to seeing in the last few seasons when it was, you know, mainly the Mercedes always was kind of the quicker car. We saw him. Well, actually, no, that's rubbish. No, take that away. No, I'm talking absolute rubbish there. Cancel that. But anyway, yeah, Bottas. I'm not sure whether he's safe. I think he's probably going to go, and I think we get Russell in that car and see what he can do against Hamilton. Obviously, Russell beat Bottas for pace in the one time that he was in that Mercedes against Bottas. He overtook him on track. And yeah, so that's going to be a very interesting one. And that brings me on to Sergio Perez. Now, Perez, obviously we expected him to get off to a slow start at the start of the season. The Red Bull was designed around Verstappen. Apparently it's a very hard car to drive, being pointy and loose on the rear end, which is how Verstappen likes it. And that sounds like a difficult car to get used to, but we've seen really good glimpses of hope from Perez, and it just almost seems like in his McLaren days when he's letting his head get to him and just going too hard at certain times, and then paying the price for it. So yeah, I mean he's had a few bad races. I mean Silverstone wasn't a great one for him, was it, to be honest? And when he spun out in the sprint qualifying, and then obviously started from the pit lane, started to make good progress, but it wasn't enough, and then he got sacrificed to stop Hamilton getting that that fastest lap. Obviously Perez didn't get that fastest lap because it meant he came out of the points, so only the top 10 get it, but it did stop Hamilton from getting it. But yeah, Mercedes won a lot more points than Red Bull over those 2 weekends, so yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But it does spice up the championship nicely, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing what the pace of the cars is for the next season. And obviously Ferrari have got an upgrade coming up. I won't talk about that much in this video. Maybe I'll make another one about it, but look out for that. But yeah, let's move on to McLaren now. And what a performance from not only the McLaren team, but not only Lando Norris, but also the McLaren team. I mean, they seem to have built a special car there, and Norris is driving the absolute hell out of it and getting pretty much the maximum results that you could out of that car. And yeah, I think he's been beaten by Ricciardo once this season when he was in Spain, I think it was, wasn't it, where the McLaren really didn't perform well that weekend, which was surprising to me because it performed well at like Silverstone, which is kind of like Catalunya, a little bit faster than Catalunya. But yeah, overall the team have done an absolutely brilliant job, and I think Norris has got every single bit out of that car that he can possibly muster. So yeah, congratulations to him, and hopefully he can hold it off, because I think he's still in third in the championship at the minute with Perez and Bottas nipping at his heels. And you'd think, oh, they'll catch him because they're in a faster car, but you would have thought that at the start of the season as well. So yeah, I genuinely hope Norris holds on to that third place, and yeah, we'll have to wait and see. The one thing I didn't say about Perez as well, which I forgot to mention, is whether or not he's safe. I don't know, because I think he's shown enough. Firstly, he's Verstappen's only teammate to win a race since Ricciardo. I know Albon could have won a couple of times if Hamilton, ironically, hadn't smashed him off. But yeah, whether or not he's safe, it's gonna. I think Red Bull are going to be thinking it's about the rest of the season. If he can have some, say, calmer races, and finish just in front of Bottas, that's all he needs to do at the end of the day, is finish in front of Bottas. So hopefully he does, because I would love to see him do well at Red Bull. I think he's putting so much over his career, by the looks of it. I haven't got a clue, to be honest. I'm talking crazy now, but yeah, I just really hope Sergio Perez does well. But anyway, sorry about the conflict there of teams, but anyway, let's move on to the other half of the McLaren garage now, with Daniel Ricciardo. And like everyone else, I was expecting a lot more from Daniel Ricciardo. I thought he was going to be brilliant. I wouldn't say I thought he was going to beat Lando Norris coming into Lando's team that he's been at for 2 years, but I thought it was going to be very close. And we really haven't seen that. Norris has lapped Ricciardo a few times, and he's also, I think Norris is on like 113 points and Ricciardo's on 50, and that's third in the championship, down to ninth, I think Ricciardo is in the championship. So not at all what I think anyone would have expected, but it just shows how good of a job Norris is doing, and also how much work Ricciardo's got to do. Well, he's got to do something, because he's being completely outgunned by his teammate at the minute, and it's definitely not something we've ever seen or expected to see from Ricciardo. So fingers crossed he'll bounce back, and I hope McLaren carry on improving like they have. Obviously, it's all going to change next season when the cars change completely, and the teams we're talking about now could be at the back of the grid. It's very unlikely, but it's a possibility. So anyway, I think I've rambled enough about Formula One for now. But yeah, maybe I'll make some more about the rest of the teams, and yeah, hope to catch you in that one. Cheers.